Welcome back. It's Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. And this afternoon's topic, I was actually considering holding off on this topic until I actually went back to Ghana. I'm going back to Ghana next month. But it's been on my spirit, and I needed to do a show on this because I have a lot of questions. Now, as a Black American, Ghana, when we discuss repatriation, when we discuss Pan-Africanism, as a Black American, Ghana is synonymous when you discuss and talk about returning back to the motherland. Marcus Garvey, anything Africa, from a Black American perspective, when you're a Black American and you're told about Africa, there's the correlation between Pan-Africanism, between Black America and Ghana. Like, that's the connection. If you're a Black American, you go back to Ghana. That's where you go. So I went to Ghana last year for the first time. I'm late, I guess, to going to Ghana because I've been traveling to Africa since 2011. Last year was 2017, and that's the first time I went to Ghana. So I was expecting just this conscious Pan-African spirit and energy just running through the streets of Ghana. I remember getting off the plane, arriving to the airport. My friend Nana, shout out to Nana. I'll see you next month when I come back to Ghana, who I stayed with. I remember going to his home, heading to his home from the airport. We caught a cab. And I just remember being hit in the face with pictures of white Jesus and pimping ass pastors all over the place. Everywhere. I thought it would be worse in Nigeria, but by far, and I heard Zambia is pretty bad, but by far, the amount of white Jesus pictures, you had these billboards of these pimping ass pastors who we know are hustling. They're plastered everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, it was just in your face, everywhere you went. Pictures of white Jesus and pimping ass pastors. And I remember just saying to myself, and I wanted to interview some Black Americans who repatriated to Ghana from America once I went to Ghana, back to Ghana in December. But it's just, it was just on my mind. Now, we have to look at and I don't want to stereotype my brothers and sisters who repatriate to Ghana, but you have to kind of look at the profile. Conscious. They talk about the bullshit in America, the white Jesus in America, how the spirit of white Jesus is taking over Black Americans, how just the struggle of Black Americans, and the very conscious. But for some reason, I don't understand. They'll call out the church and the Black community in America. And I could be wrong. There could be some videos somewhere online. I might have missed them. And if I did, I apologize. But I am shocked that the brothers and sisters who have repatriated to Ghana are not calling out this bullshit in Ghana. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, I was embarrassed. As a Black man, I was embarrassed by riding around in the streets of Accra and seeing pictures of white Jesus everywhere. The shit was embarrassing. I was just embarrassed. And I'm like, how in the hell can you guys tolerate this shit? Because you know damn well this is Black America. You guys will call this out You guys stay calling this out. You know you do. You call out the pimping ass pastors in Black America. You call out how Black people have just been brainwashed by the Bible. But you guys are quiet about this bullshit in Ghana. This is 20 times worse in Ghana. 20 times worse. The Asante Hina, if I mispronounce his title, and Kumasi, he's turned into a white missionary, or turning into one. He's talking about translating all the I guess translating the Bible into Twi or native languages. You got the president who had this BS billboard up with him and Prince Charles talking about how Ghana and the UK had a past and now a shared history in the past, and now they're going to have a shared history moving forward. Shared history of what? Slavery, beating you in the head with that white Jesus Bible, rape, imperialism, colonialism, and now you're talking about you're going to move forward with a shared history in the future. I need some answers. That's why I'm just shocked. And when I was in Ghana, I was just shocked how it's just you have this picture of just Black Americans in Ghana, and it's just everything's just pure. There's no issues. There's just straight consciousness going on. But I don't know how in the hell you can live day to day. Okay, day to day. How do you live your day to day life as a conscious Black American, so-called conscious, I guess, who was tired of the white Jesus energy, the brainwashing in the Black community in America by the church, but you move to Ghana and it is 50 times worse? Give me answers. Okay, give me answers. Give me the answers. Or do you want to criticize? Give me the answers. Sismic Vertical, give me the answers. Here we go. Give me the answers. That's what I don't understand. And again, I don't understand. Thank you, Prince Charles stealing all the artifacts. I mean, what I saw in Ghana last year was probably some of the most embarrassing ish I ever seen in my life. Don't get me wrong, Nigeria has issues. Is Ghana more of a stable country than Nigeria? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is Ghana one of the more stable countries in West Africa? Absolutely. But God, I mean, just riding around in the streets of Accra and seeing just all these pictures of white Jesus everywhere in your face and pimping pastors. And I'm just like, okay, all you conscious militant Black Americans who repatriate to Ghana, you're trying to tell me that y'all don't have a problem with this? You guys aren't calling this out? No, okay, again, it's levels to it. All right. Again, is Kenya, I guess, a Christian country? Yeah. But there were pictures of white Jesus everywhere. And that's why I'm tired of this African origins of Jesus. Jesus has no African origins. We need to stop this lie. Okay, I'm tired of the African origins argument about Jesus and the African origins argument about Islam. We need to stop. Okay, because whenever I get into a debate about the African origins of Jesus, the same people that will tell you that Jesus There's Jesus has his origins in Africa, are the same people that would defend all these white Jesus pictures all over Africa. I'm like, okay, fine. So once you guys follow the Coptic Christianity or whatever, the Orthodox Christianity in Ethiopia, at least the pictures of Jesus are somewhat, I mean, they look somewhat African, Ethiopian. But if you replace their King James versions of the Bible with the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, if you replace their white Jesus pictures with the Ethiopian Jesus, these Africans might riot. That's what we're dealing with. That's what they're dealing with. That's why I'm tired of this African origins of Jesus argument. I'm tired of it. I'm because they don't want African Jesus. In fact, to the point, if you guys study in the Congo, you had Kipavita, Indona Kipavita. She was a prophet, an African prophet or priestess who said all the characters of the Bible came from the Congo and they were all black. The white Jesus Christian lover Congolese partnered with the Portuguese to have her murdered. And they will, I mean, it's just they will, the same people that will argue with you about the African origins of Jesus will have every excuse on why the white pictures of Jesus are okay. And damn it, how dare you? How dare you? Because this is the argument they want to have. Stop the show. Stop the show. Stop the show. This is the argument they want to have. The origins of Jesus is African, but the color of Jesus doesn't matter. Do you understand how stupid that sounds? These are the type of arguments I have. The origins of Jesus is African, but the color of Jesus shouldn't matter. So Jesus was a white African. So Jesus was a Boer from South Africa. All right. Jesus was a Boer from South Africa. Since he's a white African, you okay with the white pictures of Jesus? Jesus was a Boer from South Africa. That's Jesus, Boer from South Africa. He's a Boer. He's a Boer. Because every time I have these African origins of Jesus discussions, I say, okay, well, so why are the pictures white? Well, the color doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. I mean, Jesus. Shout out to Chief Drano for the super chat. Thank you, brother. So the origins of Jesus was African. Why aren't you making the images unapologetically African? Boy, these Africans will kill you, will fight you if you dare change the pictures. And I know a lot of Ghanaians got upset with me saying Diners. Now, Ghana has reached out to the Black Americans because, Black Americans are always crying about, Africa won't reach out. Africa won't do this for the descendants of the slave trade. Okay, I appreciate it. But see, I'm not just going to just go to Africa and just shut my mouth and just exist and just ignore all the buffoonery. I'm not getting down like that. Now, a lot of Black Americans who go to Africa might just do that because they're just so happy and just want to get along. I don't operate like that. I'm calling out all the AfriPEANS. I'm calling out all this BS. I'm not built like that. And that's the issue. Brother Amirah, who was about to come on. Yeah, okay, I get it. You guys might be in a better situation than Black Americans, okay? But at the same time, I'm not just there just to exist and ignore all the BS, all the buffoonery. And that's what I'm starting to notice. You guys get to Africa and just ignore all the buffoonery. But when you were here in Black America, you called it out. But you get to Africa and you notice all the clowning is right there in your face. Unapologetic clowning in AfriPEANism, right there in your face. In your face, unapologetic. Just AfriPEAN energy all over Ghana. It's sick. It's sick. And you Black Americans in Ghana do not call it out, but you'll call out the clowning and Black people been brainwashed by the Bible via the slave trade and slavery. You'll call it out in America. You'll call it out. But that Ghanaians in Ghana could just walk around the streets of Accra acting like just full ho AfriPEANs, but they speak Twi and know they tried. They just get away with it. I don't operate like that. Here we go, Dinus. You have to understand that the white Jesus Christ posters are pimping commercials, ads. It's all money making schemes. Churches in Ghana prey on the weak mind. Okay, so why aren't they calling it out? Ghana, and again, I thought Nigeria was going to be bad. Ghana by far is by the most embarrassed. I was just embarrassed riding around Ghana. I'm going back next month. I was just embarrassed with just all these pimping pastors, hustling pastors, all these pictures of white Jesus everywhere. You cannot operate an African nation, an unapologetic African nation built by Kwame Nkrumah, one of the key players of Pan-Africanism. You cannot operate with pictures of just white Jesus everywhere. And then people expect, well, since the president of Ghana reached back out to Black Americans and and he's extending his hand to Black Americans, like we're just supposed to just shut up and just say thank you. I don't operate like that. I don't. Thank you so much for donating to the Search for Who Ministries. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it is to the point that weren't they trying to build a big Catholic cathedral in Ghana? I mean, I just don't get it. In fact, it's more of the Ghanaians, the younger Ghanaians, right, who are calling it out versus the conscious Black Americans. I don't operate like that. And again, well, Dinus, you Black Americans always cry about Africa countries not reaching out to you guys, and you should just be happy. So just because Ghana is reaching back out to Black America, I'm just supposed to shut up and not say nothing? I don't get down like that. There are just too many whole AfriPEANs running around Ghana right now. And it's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Same way in Nigeria, you got Blacks who want to be Arab so bad they just blowing shit up because they just want to be Allah Akbar so goddamn. I'm gonna do another video on that later on today. Davies, you just said something. Black Americans go there to rest and run from competing. You have a point. I know some that are competing, but you make a good point. You make a good point. Not all of them. But okay, so the question is, what is Black America contributing to Ghana? There are a lot. I mean, you got brother Daniel Simmons. You got the sister with the in Cape Coast, Queen Mother in Cape Coast with the hotel, One Africa. You got brother Daniel Simmons. You got what's the brother's name? The professor. What's his name? What's his name? But yeah, but I'm not just trying to go to Africa just to, say I'm on a continent and 10 toes on the ground and kiss the ground. I'm past that. I did that when I went to Tanzania. First time I went to Tanzania. Oh yes, I'm home at the motherland. I'm returned, the land of my ancestors. I'm past that. Because once I started noticing all the clowning, I'm like, okay, I see what the issues are now. It's just too much AfriPEANism going on. Professor James Smalls got his bed and breakfast right. So I mean, you somewhat are right, Davies, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out, and no offense to my Ghanaians, I'm trying to figure out as far as for Black Americans, what the hype is about Ghana. Because I cannot exist in Ghana with all those white Jesus pictures and all those billboards. I will rip them all down. That's why I'm surprised that the Black American community in Ghana they are not vigilantly calling out just these unapologetic AfriPEANs running around in Ghana. Yeah, like I said, it's just, I've been to Kenya, Christian country. I've been to some other Christian countries in Africa, but it's just in Ghana, it's just, God dang, it was just like, are you serious? And this is supposed to be the Kwame Nkrumah Pan-African situation. We have churches, but Jesus, in a Black community, there's not pictures of white, unapologetic white Jesus pictures all over the place. That's all I'm saying. Like, no one's gonna take you serious as a country. That's why Africa's not taken serious. Like I said, I got past all the 10 toes on the ground, let me kiss the ground, or I'm back in the motherland. I got past all that the first time. I just noticed all the goddamn AfriPEANism going on in Africa. And I'm like, okay, I see why Africa is the way it is. And in 2018, okay, with the internet and just access to all the information we have, there's no reason to be a whole AfriPEAN in the way these AfriPEANs are being AfriPEANs. There's no reason. No reason. And the pastors have no shame in it. No shame. I mean, in China, it got to the point where they started tearing. In fact, in Rwanda, I want to say Rwanda, they start Dr. Cabone. Respect to Dr. Cabone. But I think it was Rwanda. I want to say they started tearing the churches and the mosques down that were bullshitting. They started tearing them down. In China, they're doing the same thing. Why aren't they doing that in Ghana? I'm not saying you got to be radical. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you got to be overly militant. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in order to have people take you serious, there's a certain shit. I mean, here we go. The Chinese in China are unapologetically Chinese. The Indians in India are unapologetically Indian. Japanese, Korean, same thing. You go to Africa, some of these countries, it's just like, I mean, say I was a Negro peon, right? And I work for the U.S. government, or I don't know, for Britain. I don't know. I'm a Negro, full Negro peon, and I work for the U.S. government. And I get off the plane. I fly into Ghana to do business, and I get off the plane. And I walk through the streets of Accra. I'm just gonna be laughing so hard, just so hard. I mean, you just shout out to Otis. I mean, you cannot operate in a position of power and have pictures of white Jesus all over the place. I mean, no white European man is gonna take you serious, or if you have pictures of him all over the place. I mean, golly. That's why Netanyahu went to, what's the president's name of Ghana? Nana Akufo-Addo. That's why Netanyahu went to him personally to try and convince him to help him get so that Israel could go into the African Union. That's why the Israelis will entertain Ghana or the Ghanaian president in order to get his support so Israel could get into the African Union. That's why right there. I mean, they see this shit. Okay, so the white Israeli, white Prince Charles, just Europeans in general America, they see their white Jesus pictures all over Accra. They know, okay, we got him. They know he's soft. And right, and meanwhile, the Israelis are putting African migrants in concentration camps and saying, don't come to get the hell out of Israel. But then you got some people that will blame the so-called African traditionalists who practice traditional African religion and blame their condition on the traditionalists. And I like Otto because he was talking some good stuff when the president of France came. He had to shut him down a little bit. But man, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I saw that. Yes, well, it's at the museum. Why the Ghanaian white Jesus lovers have put Kwame Nkrumah's Cadillac in a pigeon coop instead of a museum? Well, it's at the so Admiral, it's at the museum. I've been to the Kwame Nkrumah situation. It's at the museum. It's just kind of the whole compound or complex is the museum. The whole thing. The whole thing is. So the museum is, I mean, the Cadillac is on the complex. It's technically in the museum. It's just outside, but it's in the museum. It's in the museum. I've been. Here we go. All those Eddie Peace diners. Do you think Ghana has become a liability to Africa? We won't know until. I wonder how that meeting with Netanyahu and Otto. I wonder how that meeting went. I wonder how it went. I wonder how that meeting went. It just depends on how that meeting went. But it comes to no surprise now why Netanyahu would want to meet with Otto in regards to joining the African Union. It's no surprise now where Otto will put pictures, billboards of him and Prince Charles talking about they have a shared history and now have a shared future. Shared history of what? Slavery, colonialism, theft, rape, CIA, and because somebody was trying to argue with me, well, Don, it was the CIA, American CIA, who took out Kwame Nkrumah. Trust me, CIA works closely with the British intelligence. So when it was time to take down Kwame Nkrumah, trust me, they were working together. That's how it works. But yeah, I'm just surprised on why how a lot of the conscious community who have relocated to Ghana are not calling out these AfriPEANS in Ghana. This shit is just, it was shocking when I went to Ghana last year. Like, I was shocked. Like, this can't be real. Now, some just choose to exist, but I don't operate like that. And by all means, any Ghanaians that see this and want to pull the, well, Nana Otto was good enough, nice enough to welcome back Black Americans and free visas and all that. Okay, we appreciate that, but you were still a full AfriPEAN. But thank you. I'm not judging all the Ghanaian people. Again, I was just shocked how stuff like this could be tolerated like it's normal, especially those damn billboards. I'm talking about, we took the VIP bus from Accra to Kumasi, and just around Accra, there was just billboard after billboard, picture after picture of white Jesus and pastors just, they are hustling and exploiting the Ghanaian people. And people are just okay with it in Africa. Don't get me wrong, we got our Creflo Dollars and our TD Jakes here in America, but they are not as flamboyant and unapologetic hustling their congregations like these Ghanaian pastors were. Black people in America who are Christians, they are not unapologetic and in love with white Jesus the same way I saw in Ghana. That shit was embarrassing. No, and you're right. Lovely Lacey 41. Ghanaian police ain't killing blacks on the street, so black expats are choosing their battles. I see, and I understand, but it's to the point that it's just like, look, it makes no sense, Ghanaians and Africans. You have your own traditional indigenous religion, and you're trying to tell me that by trading that for white Jesus is a come up, or you're moving forward, or you're modernizing. Like, I mean, that's the argument. Like, Dinus, the traditional voodoo and Ifa, all that stuff is old and in the past, and we cannot move forward and progress with that stuff. So you trying to tell me white Jesusism and Islam is progress? And this is what I'm seeing when I go to Africa? And then you want to point out the structures and all this stuff? That's all remnants of colonialism. And the new infrastructure is coming from China. So you pray, so you left the traditionalism because you can't progress, right? But now you're saying you're measuring progress by praying to Jesus, white Jesus, and the white Jesus or Allah. You pray to him and they sin and they answer your prayer by bringing the Chinese to build sidewalks. That's progress. George Megan, Diners, do the Ghanaian people love white Jesus or white people more than African Americans? I'm gonna say yes. Not all of them, but damn it, just like not all African Americans love white Jesus or white people like that. But the white Jesus energy is definitely stronger in Ghana than it is here in America. Definitely. Definitely is. Churches pay taxes in Ghana. Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's good. You know what? That's good news. I need to see facts on that though. If churches are paying taxes in Ghana, I need to see facts on that. That's actually smart because they don't pay taxes here in America. None of that money circulates back into the black community here in America. None of it. No, we are, but in Ghana, it was everywhere. Houses, outside, streets, signs, everywhere. So that's how we measure progress now. African progress is ditch traditional religion for Abrahamic faith, because when you pray to Jesus and Allah, they will answer your prayer with a Chinese man with a bulldozer and some concrete to pour sidewalks. That's progress. That's progress now. I got to do another video on that. I'm still going in December, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, I've been to 14 African countries now, 13, 14, and I'm just trying to figure out the love affair, especially just coming from America. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Ghana's beautiful. Women are beautiful. But that I cannot take that, just those pictures and those pastors everywhere. I can't take it. But anyway, family, if you're new, like, subscribe. Let's get these likes up. Hit that like button. Let's subscribe. Make sure you go to search for Huru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.